This is ABC7 News at 5:30. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Welcome back. Crews from the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission are in Texas tonight, helping move people to dry ground.
The state agency quickly deployed 25 officers to set up command bases in Beaumont for search and rescue operations. Officers and their equipment, that includes 8 shallow draft vessels and 4 patrol boats, were on standby in Pensacola on Friday, waiting to deploy to Texas. Now the total number of fish and wildlife officers in Texas will top 100.
5,300 block. It's about 4 to 5 inches of water covering GMD, and then a little bit north in the 6,500 block. It's a small area, maybe 100 feet, but it's a little bit deeper in the southbound lane. So we ask that everyone use caution when driving through water. If you're not sure how deep it is, don't enter. If it looks like traffic's flowing through, please just drive safe, slow down, be courteous to the oncoming traffic. Of course, we want the headlights on and the wipers on as well.
Well, that soundbite was referring to some of the situations we've been facing here, not in Texas, but the state officers aren't the only assistance that Texans are receiving from Florida. The Red Cross and utility companies are sending crews, along with a host of local fire and rescue crews from all across the state.
And if you'd like to help those affected by Hurricane Harvey, you can donate to the American Red Cross by going to the website redcross.org or text Harvey to 90999 to make a $10 donation. Or you can just call the Red Cross at a toll-free number. It's 1-800-RED-CROSS. Another way you can help Harvey victims right now is to donate blood. The storm has created a critical need for blood and platelet donations in Houston, Corpus Christi, and the surrounding Gulf Coast area of Texas. Suncoast Blood Bank shipped 150 units to the region today, but more donations are needed. The blood bank is asking everyone who is eligible to donate blood and platelets this week so it can continue to assist hospitals there in Texas. Meanwhile, One Blood is also standing by, preparing to send blood to Texas as well and asking for donations as well.
And I was just reading an article actually about certain donations are helpful, certain aren't. You think you're doing good by sending actual goods or clothes or whatever. That makes it more difficult for them to process to be able to receive it. So you really do have to do the financial or the blood donations. That's the way to go. Well, heading over now to Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan. He has the first alert forecast.
Yeah, and speaking of Harvey, I know recall from last week on Thursday, they had the forecast projection. When I say they, the National Hurricane Center, from the Yucatan Peninsula all the way into Texas, and they had it as a tropical storm. I just want to point out how things can change very rapidly, especially during this time of year. Hurricane forecast intensity is not an exact science. In fact, it's almost a coin flip as far as that goes, because we saw what happened. It did not come in as a tropical storm. It came in as a major Category 4 hurricane. It is now a tropical storm. It is producing some very heavy rainfall, once again, over an area that has already seen in excess of 25 inches. The forecast projections, it could go as high as 50. All depends upon where the heavy rain sets up. Right now, we're getting some heavy rain in New Orleans as well. And you can see that large area of showers and storms. Basically, that's the cloud tops, indicating the cold cloud tops there, which indicates some very heavy rainfall. We also have tropical depression number 10, soon to become Irma. And it's not going to be nearly as bad. It's going to cause some heavy rainfall, but just a short period of time, as it will move rather rapidly off toward the northeast, so it's not going to sit around. We've had our fair share of rainfall. That's due to that trough axis, a line of low pressure that continues to stay right over the top of us. Now, a flood warning is set to expire at 6:30 for the area you see in here in the light green, and then a flood advisory is in effect for all the barrier islands at this point. And what that indicates is that driving is not recommended throughout that area. The lighter green here that you see is, or the darker green, is the flood watch. That remains in effect now until 8 o'clock tomorrow. So we were expecting this to get out of here by now, but it just doesn't seem to be moving too much. It will, though, tomorrow. We'll start to see some improvement as we head into late Tuesday. More on your weather forecast coming up in a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. And as he mentioned, rain continues to affect the Suncoast, including parts of Longboat Key.
There's some flooding still on the barrier island, especially along Gulf of Mexico Drive. And that's where we find ABC7's Rick Adams, who is joining us live with more on the conditions there. Rick.
Yeah, Haley and Scott, good evening. I'm actually going to move out of the way to give you a pretty much better look at the flooding out here. And this is the main road that cuts through here, and it still remains pretty flooded, as you can see. Cars are moving through there pretty slowly. A bicyclist, I don't know if you can see the bicyclist in the distance, he just went through. So it's still a little bit of an issue here. Public Works crews continue to try to pump this water out, and with more rain now, we're getting pelted with some rain right now, right at the moment, and from the weekend, flooding is still a little bit of an issue here, and it will remain a little bit of an issue here for a little while longer at least.
The 5300 block, it's about 4 to 5 inches of water covering GMD, and then a little bit north in the 6500 block. It's a small area, maybe 100 feet, but it's a little bit deeper in the southbound lane. So we ask that everyone use caution when driving through water. If you're not sure how deep it is, don't enter. If it looks like traffic's flowing through, please just drive safe, slow down, be courteous to the oncoming traffic. Of course, we want the headlights on and the wipers on as well.
And just north of here on Anna Maria Island, officials tell us that situation has actually improved and there is little to no flooding there, and we'll have a lot more on this throughout the night. Reporting live from Longboat Key this evening, I'm Rick Adams. Back to you.
All right, thank you. An area that typically floods is Myakka River State Park. It is closed again today due to the flooding there. Water is at least knee deep in some areas, and the flooding is impacting local wildlife.
Well, you'll see a lot of wildlife in places that you don't normally see it, but they're used to this. They know where the high ground is, and you won't see quite as much. There's a lot of gators crossing the road trying to find a spot to be.
Park officials say this is the highest they've seen the flood waters, and they're preparing for the potential for another foot of rain. Portions of the park will remain closed until those flood waters have receded.
A church in Manatee County is open right now as a temporary shelter for those whose homes are flooded. St. George Episcopal Church on 63rd Avenue West opened yesterday to families in need. About 7 people spent the night. The Salvation Army provided dinners, and volunteers helped make their stay as comfortable as possible. Now the Red Cross is helping the families start the recovery process.
We stay until we can A, get them back in their homes, or B, make other arrangements for them, whether it be in a hotel or a rental. But it's, because of the generosity of the community that Red Cross is able to do this.
Manatee County says the shelter will remain open as long as there is a need. And Harvey is a great reminder for anyone who lives along the coast how important it is to be prepared for a big storm. ABC7 wants to make sure you are ready for whatever this storm season brings. We have information about shelters, supply kits, and how to prepare your home in our hour-long special Surviving a Hurricane. It's available now on other platforms including Apple TV, Amazon Fire, and Roku.
In other news tonight, Palmetto police need your help to find a man accused of attempted murder. Police say they're still looking for Lizandius Randall Jr. He's considered armed and dangerous, so if you do see him, do not approach him. Police say Randall shot Travarius Carter at a Citgo store on 10th Street West. Carter is expected to make a full recovery. If you have any information on his whereabouts, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers at 866-634-TIPS. An update now on a Bradenton man accused of killing his girlfriend and their infant son. During Larry Williams' first court appearance this afternoon, the judge denied him bond. Williams faces 2 counts of murder and 1 count of arson. He's suspected in the deaths of 18-year-old Diamond Shellman and their 8-month-old son, Jeremiah. Their bodies were found at the Avalon Square Apartments early yesterday morning on 14th Street West near 35th Avenue. When firefighters arrived, flames were coming from the apartment. The cause of the fire and an investigation into their deaths is ongoing.
10 months ago, Florida voters decided to legalize medical marijuana, but school districts are still unsure how to handle that. There are 67 school districts statewide, and they're all handling medical marijuana in their own way. Manatee and Sarasota County school districts are struggling to decide whether to allow the medicine on school grounds. Although medical marijuana is legal here in the state of Florida, it is not legal federally. One mother whose daughter uses the medicine says state law needs to be made more clear.
So my hope is with all of it is that we can get to some place where there's more policies in place, where there's more openness about it, where we're not fighting this quote drug all the time and we embrace it as a medication that is helpful.
Coming up on ABC7 News at 7, we'll take a look at what kind of direction schools may soon be getting from state lawmakers on how to handle medical marijuana prescriptions.
Still to come in your Suncoast News, flights canceled and delayed.
How Harvey is affecting air travel across Florida and here on the Suncoast. That's straight ahead.
Now's the perfect time to work with California Closets. During our Shades of White event, save up to 20% on our beautiful white finishes for any space in your home. Contact us today for your free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Discover all the reasons the experts love Subaru during the Subaru A Lot to Love event at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Nobody beats Subaru in service quality, vehicle quality, and overall quality. And ALG named Subaru the 2017 top brand for residual value. Right now, lease the most fuel-efficient vehicle in its class, a new Subaru Outback for just $229 a month, or get 0% financing. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
I'm calling in regards about my mother, and I'm here, and I just want to thank you because it saved my mother's life yesterday. And I'd like to know the names of the people that came in and saved her so I could call and thank them. And she's doing fine. It's a wonderful thing. Thank you.
When you fall and cannot get up, an accident can turn into a tragedy. But with Life Alert, one touch of a button can get you help fast. Life Alert saves a person from a catastrophe every 10 minutes.
Life Alert is a lifesaver. If it weren't for Life Alert, I wouldn't be sitting here today.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-652-3012. That's 1-800-652-3012. Call now 1-800-652-3012. For a free brochure, call 1-800-652-3012.
Attention Sarasota and surrounding cities. After 25 years in Sarasota, Bacon's Furniture and Design will be moving to create Southwest Florida's largest and most dynamic furniture store. We must liquidate everything in the store at huge savings as fast as possible. Do not miss this opportunity to purchase quality sofas, bedrooms, dining rooms, patio furniture, mattresses, and more. All at the absolute lowest prices possible. The Bacon's Furniture and Design relocation sell-off. Nobody beats Bacon's.
Watch Your Suncoast News at 6 on your streaming device for a chance to win a $50 Visa. It's easy. Just watch weekdays at 6 for the word of the week. Then enter the word at mysuncoast.com for your shot at a $50 Visa. We'll pick the winner each week. Good luck.
Now's the perfect time to work with California Closets. During our Shades of White event, save up to 20% on our beautiful white finishes for any space in your home. Contact us today for your free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
The dangers of drinking abroad are coming front and center after a young woman died after having cocktails at a swim-up bar in Playa del Carmen, and her brother suffered a concussion and memory loss.
Other families have claimed they were drugged at resorts in Mexico. One of the culprits may be tainted alcohol. It's hard to know what other drugs or harmful ingredients may be mixed into off-brand spirits. So watch closely what the bartender is mixing in, or choose something like a bottled beer that is sealed until you order it.
Now your ABC7 First Alert weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan.
Well, Tropical Storm Irma is on the way here, and it's going to have an impact on the Carolina coast. That's about it. It doesn't appear it's going to be too significant of a problem when you consider the historic storm Harvey and all the rain that it is bringing as it's drifting over the water once again. And we don't expect it to intensify too much. Winds could go up a little bit, but more importantly, the wraparound and the fact there's a low pressure there will continue to pump in moisture. Right now, there's not a lot out there, though. That's a good sign. There's some big storms still over Houston right now, where the catastrophic flooding continues to take place. It's not always the wind with these systems. Always said that in the past. Water has the potential to kill a lot more people than the strong winds do, and we're seeing just that thing with the hurricane at one point Harvey, now a tropical storm. We are looking at this line of low pressure that continues to stretch right across our area. This line of low pressure is an axis that is extending from our tropical system that was kind of hanging around here just as a disturbance. It has now shifted and is off the Carolina coast. That continues to move away, and as it does so, we're going to see this line lifting to the north and some drier air will filter in. So there is some light at the end of the tunnel, looks like, beginning tomorrow. More so on Wednesday, but still reading some of the discussions from the National Weather Service and looking at some of the forecast models, there's a lot of energy still out here. And notice this large cluster right here. You can see it quite clearly. I'll circle it for you right there. It's still out there indicating that we have some lift, a little piece of energy that sometimes the models don't see. And this is going to continue to move off to the east tonight. So showers and storms, although taking a little break now over the Sun Coast, we'll be back later on tonight, and intense rainfall. If you have a trip planned along I-275 into Pinellas County, you might want to postpone that for a little while, as this is torrential rain occurring all the way over into Tampa right now. This line had been drifting south, and now it's being held up a little bit, so we'll keep an eye on it. Right now, Holmes Beach, Anna Maria Island, all the way down through Bayshore Gardens, things are fairly quiet there now. Some clouds around, but that heavier rain that was around just about 2 hours ago has since moved on temporarily, but I think it will be back. Rainfall totals and estimates today near Venice, up to 4 inches of rainfall. Elsewhere in some isolated areas near Siesta Key and near Fruitville and US 41 had up about a half an inch, I should say 1.5 inches to 2 inches of rainfall. There's the bullseye, though, at least today, right there over Venice. And it looks as though we will continue to see the possibility of up to 2 to possibly even 4 more inches of rain in some isolated areas over the upcoming 24 hours. Evening planner is calling for some clouds around, some showers, and a few isolated thunderstorms. Temperatures will hold off into the mid to upper 70s for the most part. I mentioned the dry air. It's right here over Cuba and over the Bahamas. South Florida now getting a piece of that. It's trying to nose on in over into our area, but right now having a tough go of it as a result of this line of low pressure right over the central portion of the state. And the energy is still out here in the Gulf as well, which will be rotating off to the northeast and bringing us that risk of more heavy rainfall. 80 right now, the dew point at 78, and the humidity at 94%. We have a southwest wind, and the high today below average as you would expect with all the rain around. 86 the high, 90 is the normal. Well, we've had 2.23 inches of rainfall at the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport. And that brings our rainfall total up for this month, I think now nearing 17 inches of rainfall just in the last 3 days, I should say. But for the month, we're at 20.88 inches. That puts us at the second all-time amount of rainfall for the month of August at the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport. And records have been kept for over 100 years there, or near there. And as we're looking at the forecast tomorrow, this particular model indicating that we will see the possibility of morning showers and storms around and then tapering off somewhat in the afternoon and evening, and we'll get back to some drier air on Wednesday. For boaters, winds will be out of the southwest at 10 knots, and seas running right around 2 feet with a light chop out there, and the water temperature has cooled. That's one thing that these storms do. They cool things down. That's maybe a temporary thing due to the runoff of the heavy rain that's been around. The UV index is at a 7 tomorrow as a result of the cloud cover that'll still be around. Here's the forecast then. Tomorrow morning, at least 100% chance for showers and storms, and then tapering off by mid-morning, and then we'll see less of a chance on Wednesday. Wednesday should be nice, and then back to those afternoon and evening storms as we take it through the rest of the work week. Back to you.
Thank you, Bob. Time now to check in on your first alert traffic for the drive home. Despite this rainy afternoon, traffic is actually moving smoothly on I-75 in both the north and southbound lanes, so no accidents or delays right now.
Harvey is affecting flights here on the Sun Coast. At Tampa International Airport, 15 flights going both to and from Houston have been canceled. But so far, there have not been any cancellations or delays out of Sarasota-Bradenton International Airport. Several flights out of Miami International to Houston and Dallas have also been delayed or canceled today. Thousands of people in Texas are trying to get to higher ground while family members are trying to fly there, maybe to help.
Entertainment news coming up next.
Attention! Royal Seas Cruises has just announced their deal of the day, a $99 Caribbean cruise for 2 people. This amazing cruise deal to the Bahamas is only available to the first 500 callers who register in your area today. So get ready to write down this number and act fast. We know that the best type of traveler is a repeat guest, so we're offering this $99 Caribbean cruise to prove it. That's $99 per couple, including your stateroom, all your delicious meals, full spa, live entertainment, 3 kids clubs, and more. more. Come see why we were voted one of the top 10 best overall cruises by Cruise Critic. We're so sure you'll enjoy yourself and become a repeat customer that you're getting this deal of the day for the unbelievable low price of just $99 per couple. But you've got to act fast. Pick up the phone and be one of the first 500 callers to take the Caribbean cruise of a lifetime for just $99 per couple. Call right now or log on to royalcruisenow.com.
Call 800-906-0489.
Consumer Cellular makes it easy to stay in touch with family and stay within our budget.
Now our cell phone bill is only a fraction of what it used to be.
Our average customers get everything they need for about $25 a month, and plans start at only $10 a month with no contracts.
Consumer Cellular has a great choice of phones. Check out my new one. I picked this simple phone.
I use my son's old smartphone. Kept my number, too.
Consumer Cellular has been an approved AARP provider since 2008, and members get exclusive discounts.
It's a good thing Consumer Cellular is always there, because sometimes I need a little help.
Sometimes.
We're proud to have received the J.D. Power Award for highest customer service among non-contract wireless providers.
Over the years, we've seen a lot of change.
We actually use change. Luckily, there are some things we can still afford.
Like Consumer Cellular.
Stop paying too much for wireless service. Switch to Consumer Cellular. And with our 30-day risk-free guarantee, it's easy. Call 1-800-920-3084. Go online or visit a Target store today.
Being the caregiver for my husband is truly a blessing, but sometimes it's easy to lose a part of myself. To be my best, for him and for me, it's important to have time to be able to recharge. When I called Tidewell Hospice, they gave me the chance to do just that. They helped me find the time to care for myself, all the while with the peace of mind of knowing my husband is in the very best hands. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
Watch Your Suncoast News at 6 on your streaming device for a chance to win a $50 Visa. It's easy. Just watch weekdays at 6 for the word of the week. Then enter the word at mysuncoast.com for your shot at a $50 Visa. We'll pick the winner each week. Good luck.
Comedians and singers are lining up to raise money for flood relief efforts in Texas.
Kevin Hart has pledged $25,000 to the victims of Hurricane Harvey. The comedian is also starting a celebrity challenge to donate money to the cause. Country singer Chris Young has started an online fundraiser for the Red Cross and donated $100,000 to it. And Katy Perry urged viewers to donate to the Red Cross while hosting MTV's Video Music Awards last night. And J.J. Watt, Houston Texans, he has raised already, he put in $100,000 and then he asked everybody else to chip in. He's exceeding $500,000, says he's now going for $1 million raised.
The original goal was $200,000.
$200,000, and they're already way surpassed that, so that's fantastic.
We'll be right back with more news.